Welcome to the GuestX podcast, where my co-host Brian Amaui and I uncover the latest technologies and human-driven initiatives that are raising customer expectations and forever changing how we define customer experience across a host of industries. If you are passionate about creating incredible content and unique experiences, join us as we talk to leading product and experience experts across the globe and learn about how today's most successful brands are setting themselves apart from the competition. So we're here with our first influencer, designer, Danielle Guerrero. Guerrero. Yes.
Come on.
Our nest on Powell. I got that part right.
Wow.
I did. Good. 1 for 2 is good in my world.
Guerrero. So where are you from
Danielle
originally?
Guerrero. Where are you from?
I am in Southern California, and that's where I've been born and raised.
Beautiful
based
area.
Over there my whole life. So being out here in the Berkshires has been absolutely gorgeous, stunning. The fall leaves. A little bit chilly, but we love it.
So
Yes.
tell us your background. How did you get into design? How did you actually get here?
So funny story, I have always wanted to go into design, but when I was in 7th grade, social media wasn't really a thing. So I was like, yeah, that's not a path I can take. Not very lucrative. So I went into tech, and I was an executive assistant at a tech company for quite a while. My husband and I purchased our first home, and as you know, first homes can be pretty expensive. You don't have money for all the expensive upgrades that come with that. And I really wanted to give our home like a designer look. And so I started searching Pinterest and Instagram, and I was like, hey, I think I can do that. So we picked up I picked up some power tools. My first thing was a nail gun, and I started putting together a shiplap wall because farmhouse was very in at the time.
Yeah.
And as soon as I used that power tool, I just felt very in control and empowered. And I was like, I love this. Like, why don't I do this more? So I kind of did it like for fun, sharing my projects online. Eventually, my Instagram kind of took off. And I started working with partners like Home Depot. And I've worked with them for 2 years now. I've had my account for 3. And I was lucky enough to be chosen to do this amazing project and partner with Verbo as well. So that's kind of how I got here, and it's been a really fun and just life-changing journey.
It's very cool. So we'll talk about the project. So as
Yes.
we've told our viewers, so there were 3 designers,
Yes.
influencers who had different parts of the house. We are actually sitting in one of your. Is this the bird's nest? What would you categorize this room we're sitting in as?
This is called the morning kitchen. I feel like it's almost like a second living room space, but not really like your main living room. Just kind of like morning, evening, just that space you come to like kind of get away from. As you know, it's going to be a family space. So if you just need a quiet escape, you want to just have your morning coffee in
Run away
here.
from the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So someone who has kids, right? I mean, that's,
I don't have kids yet, so I don't understand, but yes. I mean, if I were here with some family who had kids, I mean, I think it would be great to be able to have just a space where the adults can enjoy their coffee, enjoy an evening cocktail, do some morning yoga. So it's really a multifunctional space. I feel like these chairs are great for cuddling up with a book, a nice blanket.
Yeah. Talk us through the design process of this room, because you've got very different color palettes. It's beautifully done. And then you've put together, you've got some wallpaper, and you've got the seats, and everything is purchased through Home Depot, right?
Yes. I think it's actually quite surprising for a lot of people that Home Depot carries home decor, and I absolutely love searching through their online site. But for this space, I know the homeowners originally had a bed in here, which it's a very tight space, so I feel like a bed didn't really give this space the functionality that it needed, and it has access to the deck. And so if it's a bedroom, then not everybody can go out there, and then you're having to wait till the person wakes up, or it may look a little bit messy. And then the deck itself, like when you guys see the before pictures of that, it's like maybe you don't really want to go out there. But for designing this space, I really wanted to make it a multifunctional space that can be used just for everything and make people want to spend time up here, want to go out to the deck. So I wanted to be able to just like incorporate the greens from the outside, because as you know, we are surrounded by a ton of beautiful trees that are just like absolutely stunning. I've never seen trees like this my whole life growing up in Southern California. I've got palm trees and
that was it.
Palm trees.
Yeah, palm trees. That's right.
I mean,
Different size palm trees.
We have a few trees, but in the fall they go green to brown. But I really wanted to kind of bridge the gap between the other designers as well. Like one of them loved to use a lot of wallpaper, the other used a lot of neutrals. So I feel like a lot of my spaces are like the perfect in-between marriage of both of those concepts. And it was funny because I didn't really know that that's the direction they were going, but it ended out perfect. And I mean, Home Depot really made this easy with having like different wallpapers. Obviously, they're known for their paints and things like that. So having access to even their home decor, I was like, wow, there really is so many things that people wouldn't have known before. And I wanted to kind of go off like the Berkshires, cottagey, New England traditional vibes. And I think that's what really inspired my spaces.
And I felt like you had maybe two of the most important spaces. So outside of this area, you also had the two outdoor areas, right?
So
you
I had the deck, and then I had the entry.
And then the entry level, So, but I mean, this deck area.
Let's talk about the entrance.
Yeah, well,
because the entrance is the beginning to the space.
Yes.
I feel like the entrance is really the first impression, and I really wanted people to walk into the rental property and be like, yes, like this is the rental property for me, because first impressions are everything. I know I've walked into a few spaces and I'm like, oh, should I have gotten a hotel instead?
Yeah. No, you're right. No, you're exactly. And and people don't realize, once they have that impression, now, unless you far exceed all others, like you're already playing from behind now.
Yeah.
It's tough to catch up.
Exactly.
Almost impossible, I'd say.
No, I think that's a good point. So talk to us about that. Like, what were you going for there when you come in the home here?
So when I first saw the entryway, it was just a big empty space. There wasn't much going on. There wasn't any storage or functionality, and I feel like the entrance is very important. I know, like, when I get home from a long day or I'm going somewhere, I want a place to put my bags, my shoes. I don't want to be looking at that stuff. So I really wanted to give the rental property owners a space for their guests to be able to put their bags, their shoes, so they don't have to look at it. It still remains a calm and serene place when you're walking in. And that way, like I said, first impressions are everything. I wanted to brighten it up. There was a sauna actually in the entryway.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That I didn't even realize it was there. I was looking at pictures and it was completely covered up with wood, and I was like, I would have never guessed there was a sauna back there. I would have thought it was like a closet, or even just part of the wall. And so just taking off those wood boards, opening up the door, and kind of like freshening it up in there, adding some fresh linen, some eucalyptus. I know I love eucalyptus in the shower at home.
Yeah.
So it's attention to detail, because those details in a vacation rentals is what actually makes a vacation truly, a different story. Those are the types of stories that you can talk about. You walk into a sauna most times, it's just wood and people's old towels and that type of thing, but eucalyptus adds scent.
Yes.
It adds some vibrance, some color to it. And then Matt Loney's trying to jump into their robes all of a sudden. We were pulling him out of those
robes, and I was like, I can do that.
I was like, Matt, not right now.
I thought we should shoot the episode from the sauna.
I do guarantee that Matt will end up, and I will shoot this in a robe inside of your sauna. But you did a phenomenal job.
It was phenomenal.
Of that entry. And then it extends to the upstairs deck, which to me has like the most incredible views of the lake from a second level.
But and we were talking to Tim Rosolio from Verbo, and he mentioned how there's this emphasis now on spending time as a family in these vacation rentals. And I feel like what you did out there, and I think that and the master bedroom are probably my two favorite areas. We'll see that one a little bit later, but it became this just easy gathering area out there. Talk to us about what your thoughts were on the deck.
So my thoughts at first were, holy moly, I don't think I want to spend my time out there.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot out there.
We're going to be fighting for the two chairs that were out there before. But I really, like you said, I really wanted to make it a very conversational space. I wanted to make it feel like a space that I wanted to hang out in. I do find myself a lot of the time today just like sitting out there, enjoying the sun, enjoying the view. And even when we've had some of the groups come out, like everyone was sitting in all of the seats, and I was like, could you imagine if there were only 2 chairs and all 9 of us are trying to fight?
Everybody
who
just
gets
be
the
standing
chair, and we're
there.
all standing
Yeah.
awkwardly.
It would be.
Well, it was actually a lot of fun. We ended up just by default, all of us sitting outside.
That was like our last spot.
Yeah, and you walked outside and you're like, oh my gosh, this is
is
what it's
exactly-
going to look
It came
like.
together.
Like, this is exactly what I had envisioned for the space. I really just wanted it to be a space where families or groups of friends can go out there, hang out, have a nice evening, roast some marshmallows if they want.
So talk about the elements that you put out there, because some of that
Yes.
And
stuff
you
is not
painted
just...
the deck, which I thought
Oh
was
my gosh, yes.
brilliant. At first, when I walked, I was like, man, a black deck, but man, it's great. So talk about that too.
Yeah, so before there was like the chain link fence, the decking was very worn, and it took away from the beautiful view that was out there. And so I really wanted to disguise the fence by painting it the same color as the outer fence. And then the black, I feel like, just really gave it a fresh pop where the nature did all of the talking as far as the color goes. Because when you come here in the fall, I mean, those fall leaves, I'm like, wow, can I just take that home with me? And I wanted the furniture and really the nature to pop, and I feel like black really is a great accent color when you're wanting things to pop in a space. I feel like it's very modern and updated, and so that's why I wanted to go with that color. I was like, if anything, even if it does get dirty, you just hose it off, and it, like, unless it's something white you're spilling on there, I feel like it's a little bit easier to keep clean.
Yeah.
It also adds quite a bit of dimension.
Yes.
We were talking to one of the other designers earlier, and she said she doesn't go without designing a room without putting
Without
black
a little
in it.
bit of black. That's
And,
right. I forgot about that.
you know, having putting black onto the deck gives you just that third dimension or second dimension, whatever you want to call it. That dimension makes everything lift.
Yeah.
So all of your other colors.
And I felt like too, there's some details out that you brought some greenery in,
Lighting.
right, with some evergreen, some lighting, which was really
Oh my
cool.
gosh.
Go
That
ahead,
is
talk
one of
about
my
yeah.
favorite things, like the deck lights and the fact that they are on a little remote control to turn them on and off at your leisure. Like, I know at home for me, I don't have the little light extension where I can use the control, and I'm constantly having to like unplug
out
and
there,
replug,
right,
and it is
right.
such a hassle. So I know for renters that is going to be so.
Yeah.
Well, you took that space and made it
Yeah.
a space that you can enjoy during the day and a lot of fun to something that's probably going to be epic at nighttime.
Oh, I think it'll
Yeah.
almost be used more at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in the winter when the temperatures dip down here, you've got
Turn on
that
the
fire,
fire.
out there.
Matt's coming here already.
No,
He's
yeah,
going to be
bringing the
renting
whole
property.
family. Yeah.
He's gonna go from the sauna up to the fireplace.
Yeah.
In his rug.
After the 2 Loney girls are done, it won't look nearly as new. Got to pay that damage waiver. But even things, the outdoor cushions you've got out there, but you thought even about, I love that I went around the corner of the deck and there's one of the outdoor storage,
box,
a
yeah.
deck box. I think a lot of vacation rental owners don't think about things like that, and then they wonder, well, why is my stuff not aging well? Well, you haven't given renters the opportunity, like, hey, I've got this here for you. You can put all the stuff in there. So a lot of renters will gather up those and put them in the deck box, but it's about building it for that purpose and thinking through all of
Yeah,
it.
even in the deck box, there are some furniture covers for the chairs
Yep.
and the fire pit. That way it is protected if there's a rainstorm coming in, snow, anything like that. And I think that's just something great to have. I know in the past I haven't been so great about getting outdoor protectors for even my furniture.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
a year passes and I'm like, why does it look like
Yeah, it
that?
doesn't look,
Yeah, it looks bad.
it didn't age
I
well.
guess it's time for new furniture, and only a year later.
Yeah.
But the great thing about, I think the Home Depot products is a lot of them have that wood look, but it's actually like that aluminum, and so it is more weather resistant, and I think that's amazing.
That's
like
great.
your fireplace.
Yeah,
Yes.
that concrete fireplace is like a faux concrete. Like,
Right.
it's actually, which makes it very light to move around, because, I mean, could you imagine a actual concrete fire pit trying to move it out of the way.
But it looks great.
It does.
You did a phenomenal job.
Thank you
congratulations.
so
Great.
So we are going to link all of her information below in the notes.
Our nest on Powell.
Yes.
Look at
Our
me.
nest on Powell.
But yes, our nest on Powell. You'll see as we've been going through this, you've seen a lot of the designs, and
we'll have links to all of the designs.
Get in
the color
contact
palettes.
if you've got projects, questions about the designs, the paint colors that were used, but all available at the Home Depot and very purposefully designed for vacation rentals. Thank you again.
Thank you so much
Congratulations.
for having me.
Absolutely. That's it for this week's episode of GuestX. Be sure to sign up for our email list at guestxpodcast.com. That's guest, the letter X, podcast.com. And follow us on your favorite podcast apps so you never miss an episode. He is Mr. Guest Experience Brian O'Malley, and I'm Matthew Loney, signing off and reminding you to always create a customer experience worth talking about.
This podcast is a Hospitality.fm production.